Why will they find the common grounds? And why shouldn't they find the common ground in the first place? Analysis revealed by the Punch says that ASUU embarked on industrial action 16 times since 1999. 16 good times in 1999, and it's continually blamed its decision on the failure of government to meet its demands. Or you keep going around a circle 16 good times, do you expect a change? Or you keep going around a circle, you keep moving around it 16 good times, do you expect a difference to be made? Now, what is One TV interest in all of these? What is the interest of One TV network? What is our bone of contention in this Nigeria academic brouhaha? Some salient key questions we ask on the show today. Agreed, the government of the day has refused to make education a top priority. Does that mean that past leaders should build private universities outside the country and make a fool of their regime? How about the lecturers? Are they live up to expectations and the areas of self-development? Teaching standards to meet best global practices? Teaching patterns and techniques? When was the last training and retraining of lecturers? Has there been training and retraining of lecturers, so to say? How about the problem with Nigerian universities and polytechnics? The issue of sexual harassment, the issue of examination of practices, the issue of courtesy, the issue of sorting for grades. Again, Network. And of course, we bring to you the untold story between Academic Staff Union of University and Federal Government of Nigeria. Frantic issues we're pointing a beam light on the show today is who is making frantic efforts at addressing the issue of academic staff. That do not give over their bodies for scores or for maths. Lecturers who fail students for not buying handouts. Lecturers who fail students for not even attending classes. Lecturers who fail students for not paying money to sort their ways through courses and passing exams. Agree the federal government of the day is not yielding into the call of ASUU. But again, has ASUU lived up to expectation is the big question we're pointing out on the show today. And again, what sanction is meted out to these ones? What is government saying to these ones? Government must be ready to fund the university. Of course, that's a must because education is priority. The growth of any society is purely determined by how educated our teeming society is, how educated our teeming citizens are. The question is, when the money is eventually released, will it be properly channeled? Will it be properly managed and used for the original intent? What are the chances of the money not entering private account? It is evident that the present and successive government have never prioritized education, which is the more reason we're where we are today, talking about insecurity, banditry, killings, corruption, which is a major hookworm, cankerworm that has killed progress, prosperity and growth in the nation. Members of the National Assembly cannot speak out because their children are schooling in private universities abroad and, of course, within the country. Why would they speak out? Why would they legislate policies that will bring about growth in the educational sector? Why would they legislate policies that will strengthen the educational sector and make people to understand their role in societal growth and by way of extension nation development? Let's even talk about accountability on the part of the university. Is there accountability on the part of university as regards the internally generated funds? Let's even illustrate some of these funds. Their tuition fee paid during admission, it is called screening. There's another fee paid called UME. You obtain the form, you write the exams. How about supplementary forms, diploma forms, pre-science form, postgraduate forms, and all of what have you, all of the payment you pay from one office to another. Who will take account of these? How is this money being utilized? The dues paid by students regularly for uncalled for reasons. Who takes records of these bills? Who take records of these dues? And what is being used for? Even students have to contribute to carry out practical works after paying fees. Who keeps records of this? We'll talk about this. What purpose is it used for? And again, how is it being channeled? And we will continue to ask here on One TV Network, money, funding, revitalization. Of course, there are major issues, there are contending issues that is so needed at this critical moment for educational survival in Nigeria. How about the aforementioned hookworm eating the sector from the roots? How do we address this? How do we fix this? I mean, it's draconia that are dedicated lecturers out there who are diligent in service. Kudos to them who are doing their job. But unfortunately, they are fast declining. They're fast declining due to the problem of brain drain. Brain drain. Our professionals are leaving the country because of the unpleasant working conditions they have to face. Of course, they'll go to where they'll be appreciated. Not to talk about the empty sack of lecturers. The reason why the strike will continue or otherwise. Why would rather scratch the surface or end this harmful habit that will not improve our standard? Why don't we face our reality? Why don't we face the current situation head on? At least to say, what is the fate of those who operate small-scale businesses in the school campuses? Those who are doing one business or the other, ICT, buying and selling, food selling. How would they even survive with a harsh economy? Because they've been out of business for good 4 months. As long as school is not running, these people will be out doing nothing. Again, will the goods and shops still be useful because they own shops in the schools? When school finally reopen, what will be the hope of the goods in the shops being useful? At the core of the ongoing crisis in the universities is the issue of the crisis of collective bargaining of both those at dispute of right and interest. Both parties need to rethink and reaffirm commitment to collective agreements and suspending the unhelpful diversional attitude of prolonged strike. Prolonged strike. And if this is not urgently looked into, it will be that Nigeria is now resting on a time bomb. If ASUU strike is allowed to linger, as there are connections between rising criminality and out-of-school students, of course there are connections. The government must make hay while the sun shines. The government must think out of the box to address this issue. The government must prioritize education, must see education as a priority. If we must move forward, if we must grow, if this nation must be better, if Nigeria must find its footing and compete globally, education must be prioritized. With education, we can build bridges. With education, we can drive the best cars. We can build the best hospitals. We can have the best infrastructure. The 21st century infrastructure, with education, we can do it because it's all embedded in the book. If the book are closed, the flowers of the schools are shut down, there will be a problem of brain drain. Of course, the professional who happen to be the academians, the lecturer, they will want to go to cities, to countries where what they have, their stuff will be highly appreciated and needed. Both parties must think out of the box. Both the federal government, both the state government, including the locals. Yes, I have to call the locals out here. Primary education is suffering in Nigeria.